Today, I want you to learn what majority of people on this planet are accepting, what is even more dangerous. In the same token, they ignoring. Fact is that our brain is our greatest friend and yet our formidable enemy. Majority of people accepting that they can, just by positive thinking, influence the subconscious mind in order to reach the goals, objectives, and list goes on. And I don't argue about that. It's between individual to individual. However, simultaneously, we're ignoring that our brain can be a formidable enemy. And now you ask yourself, how? Now, let me explain to you this in very, very simple way. And that is, what we see, we believe. What we don't see, we need to put effort to convince our brain to imagine, so to project in our subconscious mind. I do remember when I was in a war, particularly in combat, during the night, I saw enemy is crawling and approaching almost like ninjas, honestly. Then what I did, I will sound alarm and my platoon will open the fire simultaneously. There's a trick. In the morning, we saw no bodies, but tree, single tree. And my mind, my brain play tricks on me because I imagine enemy. So for me to stop imagining that tree is a walking enemy, I need to go to the set of specialist training as a commanding officer. Imagine when you have someone tells you what to do in order to how to reach your goals, but instructing you how to play tricks with your brain, again, in order to reach results, and that person have no qualifications in neurology, psychology, psychiatry, medicine, but instead they have a gift in talking, convincing, and storytelling, building this emotional attachment to you. They have maybe a book or two on topic how they suffered in life, but they learn tricks how to make you great. And I can't emphasize enough how unattractive it is when somebody starts their storytelling with, my life was bad, my life was a this and that, like as if nobody doesn't have. But this is the bridge between the public speaker and us as an audience. Your brain is keeping you safe, sane, and as well curious about life. And if you like for someone to teach how to trick your brain and have no qualifications for whatsoever reasons, such a task, well, then be my guest. And there is question you will start, not when, but how you're gonna start seeing trees as I did. Because your brain will play the tricks on you. Because your brain will be convinced by the many gurus over there without qualifications whatsoever. What you need to do. Not how, what you need to do. Pay attention. How is the practical? What to do, it's a theory. So I can tell you to do this, this and that, but if I don't show you how to do it, means nothing, nothing. So when you decide to somebody tell you how to play the tricks with your brain, sooner or later, you're going to start seeing what? The trees. I saw them in the war many times. Now, let's dig deep into phenomena of the Jay Shetty, the guru of all gurus, and serious accusations by many media outlets, experts with qualifications like a real one. And let's discover, is he the guy who speaks the truth about his life, qualifications, or he's the guy who is using other people's content, guy who actually altered his biography by his needs and more. Let me introduce myself. My name is Bekes, and welcome to the podcast Life the Battlefield. I am the Guinness World Record holder for the longest audio broadcast, lasting 55 hours and 25 minutes. I also served 14 years in military, including 1,800 consecutive combat days in war in ex-Yugoslavia. And my professional career has spanned from being a combatant in a war to working in military security intelligence services, diplomatic intelligence, and investigative interrogating high-ranking military officials, traitors, spies, and organized crime figures. Needless to say, I become the best-selling author on topic investigation, espionage, and interrogations. And today, we're going to talk about the guru of all gurus, the guy called Jay Shetty. In recent days, the spotlight has been unexpectedly shifted towards the guy called Jay Shetty, a name synonymous with wisdom, inspiration, and purpose-driven content. Well, if it's his content. However, the attention he's garnered is not for the reasons one might expect from someone often viewed as a contemporary guru. Instead, Shetty finds himself embroiled in controversy, accused by some of being nothing more than online fraudster. Well, that's interesting. That didn't start today, it started 2019. This narrative does not aim to pass judgment or tarnish the reputation of the single individual. That is not my goal. For one simple reason, guys. I believe in the facts, not in opinions. And there is so many facts around the Jay Shetty, which if we go in a court and Jay Shetty needs to elaborate, explain himself, there will be a really difficult situation for him. Because I saw through the years how Jay Shetty biography has been altered on my own. So today we're going to talk about facts, not opinions. Why is that? Because I wrote a book together with Professor Clive Smallman, Corporate and Workplace Investigations. And every time when I do the podcast like this, and when I'm analyzing what's happening in the market, I try to utilize as much as possible factual investigation methods rather than just opinion. Opinions I leave to somebody else. Now, rather it's exploration of the facts that have emerged, primarily through an investigation published by The Guardian, casting a shadow over Shetty's meticulously crafted public persona. The guy was smiling. Jay Shetty is always smiling. That's him. Now, before we talk about Jay Shetty, let me ask you a question. Do you know how much is worth self-help industry? I'm gonna share this with you. So I've done little research. According to Custom Marketing Insight on 30th November 2023, that's been 5 months ago, in their article predicts that the global self-improvement market will experience substantial expansion between 2023 and 2032, propelled by the growing emphasis on individual growth, psychological wellness, and continuous education. It is anticipated that the market will expand at a compound annual growth, rather known as a CAGR, of roughly 8% through this time frame. The market is anticipated. Now the value is $41.2 billion to US $81.6 billion by 2032. The self-help industry, it's worth $41.2 billion. And guess what? You don't need to do nothing just to talk. You're going to make the money somehow. But will you? Perhaps this explains why businesses and life coaching are the most profitable businesses. How much you need self-help. Okay, by the way, Jay Shetty and his partner always preached about not being materialistic. However, according to the holy grail of the truth, Google, Jay Shetty is charging between $150,000 to $300,000 for public speaking. And he's worth $25 million. So much about living the life of the poor and the monk and the simple life. But let's go now dig into something even more deeper. Now when we know that industry costs worth the industry is worth $41.2 billion. $41.2 billion. I mean, what else you can invent in this space? And how much people need help, it's a reflection of that number. People want to somebody guide them, hold them hands, to read the books or the videos and whatever. But with the self-help industry comes something what's called the fraud. I done many videos about several prominent influencers across the globe who fake it till make it. Don't do this. Don't fake it till make it. Guys, you're gonna be caught. You're never gonna be in business again. Because one thing what internet doesn't forget, it never forgets. It's always on internet. I've done several episodes about several prominent influencers. Those who have the cancer, they cured it within a month. To those who decide to bake the cake for the kids with cancer, they never give them money. I don't understand why the influencers always love to talk about helping others and they never deliver. There's the historical shadows of coaching fraud. There's a guy called Dan Locke, self-proclaimed entrepreneur and business coach, has faced criticism for his high-ticket sales classes, which some former students believe give little value. Similarly, there's a person called Rachel Hollis, motivational speaker and author, received criticism for plagiarizing quotes and misrepresenting her personal background, casting doubt on her authenticity. Maybe Jay Shetty same. The wellness business has not been immune to these debates. There's a lady called Belle Gibson, Australian wellness guru being all over the media, being praised, being elevated to the heavens. Guys, I want you to take this very, very, very close to your heart. When somebody plays with somebody else's emotions and cure the cancer, which most of the people are afraid to gonna contract during the life and die from it. Bella Gibson, she's been elevated in the media Australia. She cured all cancers. I'm not sure, nobody asked her, how's it impossible? Now, she's an Australian wellness guru. She admitted inventing her cancer diagnosis, casting doubt on the reliability of her health advice and recipes. The latest one is Elizabeth Holmes. She's the CEO of the Tarnish. She was charged with a huge fraud for misleading investors and the public about her company technological capabilities. Those are some examples which serve as a cautionary stories, underlining the importance of alertness and due diligence while analyzing the claims of the internet personas. They emphasize a growing worry over influencers, lack of transparency and accountability, emphasizing the necessity of legitimate credentials and ethical behavior in digital era. Before we start talking about Jay Shetty, I just want to bring something to you. When I went in the war, I was 18 years old. My father, my mother, they left me. They dumped me. They didn't know what to do with me. They pick up my younger brother, they're gone. So my entire life, my father was like some type of guru to me, who was telling me what we need to do in the case of the war, who we need to fight for, what for, and all these things. And the moment the war break out, where is my father? My father is gone. Because my father was a preacher, as are many other gurus. We love to preach. But when it comes to the crunching moment, ask yourself who you want to be next to when some negative event happen in your life. Who you want next to you? Some guru or somebody who's going to stay with you? When I went in the war, I had nobody. I have just a band of brothers, just the ordinary, average guys who didn't have a preachers. We all have the belief in a life, in a God, motherland, and we wanted to come alive. That's all. As I mentioned, now it's time to dig into this persona, Jay Shetty. I have a question asking myself, Jay Shetty, there's no difference between him and other gurus. And as I say, I don't care what his life looks like, what they do. They need to live with themselves. Jay Shetty, he knows there's so many negative comments about him on media. And the guy, he does very well. He's very quiet. He's doing the many things most of people will never do. Try to stay calm and cool. However, when you go on the internet, particularly when you go on Pinterest and everything else, there's a lot of angry people who saw that their work has been stolen by Jay Shetty. Jay Shetty doesn't take the content just because it has nothing to do. He needs to supply the content. The question is how much content you can create. Self-help industry is a $41.2 billion worth. The self-content can go so much. You can analyze the things so much. You can put new quotes so much. But, you have a ChatGPT which can help you, obviously. But again, that's not your work. You can put the punch and say, give me the 50 beautiful quotes about, being motivated. In Jay Shetty, it's something different. He was trained to be the monk. I was altar boy, by the way, 8 years. I didn't become the priest because to become the priest, you need to go high school, they need to go theology University of Theology, 5 years. They need to stay in church and all these things. It's a long process to become the priest, at least in Roman Catholic religion. Now, the Jay Shetty, is he monk or money maker? Because we're going to discover this right now. To the uninitiated, Jay Shetty presents as a compelling figure. No question asked. He's celebrated globally as the best-selling author, the charismatic host of the On Purpose podcast, of course, and a former monk turned purpose-driven entrepreneur. On his podcast, you don't see the ordinary people. It's the people who he needs to associate himself with. That's the people from Hollywood who, obviously people with a higher purpose than you and I. But he's a former monk turned purpose-driven entrepreneur. He has an impressive following, over 50 million across various social media platforms. Shetty has successfully translated ancient wisdom into practical, accessible knowledge, profoundly impacting countless lives worldwide. No question asked. He impacted lives worldwide because people need. Yet the foundation of Shetty narrative began to wobble under scrutiny. He's born in London in 1987. His journey from the classroom of Queen Elizabeth School in Barnet to the esteemed halls of the business school at the City University of London seems straightforward enough. However, the authenticity of the story Shetty shares on the tours, podcasts, and chats show has come into questions, and he's been questioned. Shetty's tale of transformation from wayward youth in North London, Wood Green, marked by drug use and binge drinking, of course, my life is bad, to a seeker of spiritual truths under the tutelage of a monk is indeed captivating. He claims his life was forever changed after attending a lecture by a monk named Gauranga Das, leading him to spend significant time in ashram in Mumbai, training to become a monk himself. However, the Guardian's investigation suggested very different narrative. Guardian investigation, it's an article there. It accuses Shetty of fabricating significant elements of his life story, plagiarizing content from lesser-known creators, and making grand promises of prosperity with little to back them up. Good luck to you guys. Go to him, learn the wisdom of life. Now, let's go look closer to his controversy. Shetty influence and reach are undeniable. His discussions on the benefits of meditation, the power of visualization, and the importance of mindfulness resonate with millions because it's connected. Good luck to him and everybody who enjoy watching or listening to him. However, he attracted the attention of the celebrities, politicians, and sports figures alike, interviewing notable personalities such as Michelle Obama, Kim Kardashian, and late Kobe Bryant. However, despite his success, Shetty's rise has not been without criticism. No, I didn't saw Shetty lately. I tried to find the images. Somebody who's becoming a monk in Mumbai and Bekes in England become very famous. Would you sit on a plane and go in Mumbai and that whatever place you become the monk and bring the goodies and some sweets and some flowers? Hardly to find any image. He's come back in India and be in that ashram. You know what I mean? Anyway, I don't see nobody from India says anything about his being there. Now, allegations of content theft and doubts. Well, that's where that becomes very interesting. The veracity of his monastic life have raised questions about integrity of his advice and teachings. In 2019, he faced backlash for purposely using content with attribution, helping him build his vast social media empire. So the guy took somebody else's content. It's all over the internet. You can check, guys. It's not a Mario Bekes says this. The Guardian says that, and it says people on the internet. So he took your content, your honest content, your emotions, your knowledge, your life experience, and he says, "Hi, my name is Jay Shetty. This is it," and you are. Find yourself. The reason why he's successful because he's been seen in the media. People come to him on his social media profile, and of course they'll see all these quotes, which they're not his, or most of them, or maybe all of them. That's not up to me to decide. The fact is, he was stealing other people's content. Moreover, the Guardian investigation challenges the narrative that Shetty lived as a monk in India for 4 years. I tried to calculate he's born in 1987, then he says he lived 4 years in India, he finished high school, university. When did you live in India 4 years? That's a many years, 4 years. I remember coming to Australia in 98 in November. I come here because my government sent me. And 4 years, a long period of time. You build reputation, friends, love, the breakups and, business and everything else. It's a long time. And Guardian, they found discrepancies. Friends and acquaintances suggested that Shetty was more focused on creating social media content than on monastic practices during his time in India. These revelations prompt reassessment of Shetty's work and the broader implication for social media influencers. As Shetty brand teeters on the brink of the capitalism and spirituality, it reflects a larger trend of oversimplifying literally complex concepts for marketing purposes. Let's go to a reflection of influence and authenticity. There's a saga surrounding Jay Shetty, which underscores the delicate balance between influence and authenticity in the digital age. It raises pertinent questions about sources of inspiration and the criteria we use to select the voice we allow into our lives. Guys, if you go back now this podcast, I said this very, very clearly. The brain can be your best friend or your worst enemy. If you let anybody who doesn't know what they're saying, what they're doing, no qualifications, I'm not talking about your mom, your dad, your boyfriend, your husband, your girlfriend, people you're very close to who wish you the best, or at least pretending they wish you the best. If you let somebody to tell you that your brain can do this and that, and they have no qualifications, it will turn your brain against you. I know, I've been there, I saw that. You need to take it what you need to take it. You can't live on a cloud nine there and believing just because somebody told you something's going to happen. It doesn't work that way, because the theory, it's a different than action. I can tell you what to do, but if I don't show you how to do it, has no merit, has no credibility, has no authenticity. Maybe Hollywood does, because in Hollywood it's Hollywood. But in reality, life consists from what we see, what we hear, all our five senses. But if somebody tries to trigger your senses by saying things, has no qualifications, your voices in your head will play against you. I can guarantee you this one. We are all consumers of digital content. Me, you. What do you think I have my podcast? You know, I love my podcast because I love to share my life experiences. You take it what you want, what you don't take it, it's okay. It's a reflection of our values and the type of world we wish to create. Now, the controversy also highlights a broader societal issues. The erosion of critical thinking in the face of appealing narratives. In an era where quick fixes and sound bites dominate, the allure of simple solutions can often overshadow the need for substantiated claims and genuine expertise. I'll tell you something else. Okay, so I need to give an example. So recently I need to see the psychologist. The psychologist, because I'm going back into the boxing and, I'm fighting in the boxing. I'm 52 years old this year and it's difficult. Anyway, I need to do evaluation. So, the lady, she wants to find out the doctors why I want to fight. And as I sat in a chair talking to a psychologist, we start genuine conversation because she's an expert and she said how my brain functioning, why I'm doing this. It's not what I truly believe it is, because the expert told me, no, it's your third brain, it's your T-Rex brain. I said, what does that mean? She says to me, it's your brain, for survival. We never lost this reptilian brain, right? So what I'm trying to say to you, I need to go to psychologist. I didn't go to some guru to tell me to do qualifications of reasons why I'm going to fight. The point I try to make to you guys, I believe positively. I try to believe positively. I try to convince myself. I don't let nobody convince me nothing, because I saw in the war. I was convinced many things that they're not true. And that only I need to trust to my intuition. That only I can rely on my senses. But if you let somebody play with your brain, has no qualifications whatsoever, your brain will fight. So when I went to a psychologist to do the clearance, that I can go back into boxing, she talked about my reptilian brain. I didn't even know what the reptilian brain is. She tried to explain to me, show me the picture. So look, I don't know, you can't teach me this in the 15 minutes. She says, I know, Mari, because I spent university, become psychologist, expertise, special, that's all these things comes because it's a genuine expertise involved. Now, with Jay Shetty, something different. As the story unfolds, the absence of response from Shetty or his celebrity acquaintances leaves the public in limbo, waiting for clarity. He knows this. He's been instructed, he's been told, by experts, sit on the side, let the storm passes by. We're going to deal, there's the lawyers and everybody else. But his lawyers cannot silence the internet because lawyers cannot sit there and, just do the work for whatever reason it is. You don't want to be wrong. You don't want to be in that position. The silence is telling something else, prompting reflection on the nature of celebrity endorsements and the responsibility of influencers to their audiences. We need to think about how to move forward. There's a call for Jay Shetty's journey from his rapid ascent to fame to the current scrutiny serves as a case study in the complexities of digital influences. And why is that? I remember when I was in university, and Jay Shetty should know this because the guy he's allegedly profiler, he was as well. So he has all these titles he put on the internet, and as I say, internet doesn't forget. That's a tragedy for everybody, not just for Jay Shetty, for everybody. People take screenshots. There is an archive on the internet. There's so many things people remember. And Jay Shetty, he's under scrutiny. And of course, when you have when you're dealing with all these public speaking, events, and you put in your opinion, you should tell the people this is your opinion. If you tell the people just because you read some quote or some statement somewhere that this is the truth, it is not. Because I remember in university, when I was doing these things, I wrote one essay and professor comes back to me and says to me, this is opinion, this is not academic work. We need 15,000 words or such and such a topic on nature, this and that. And I was like, oh, yeah, true, it's opinion. I need to have the referencing, argument, counter-argument, the facts. Shetty journey has become now case study. Literally, he believe it or not, he's become the case study. That invites us to consider our engagement, your engagement, my engagement as well, with online content and the figures who populate our social media feeds. As we navigate the vast landscape of information and entertainment, it is important and critical thinking cannot be overstated. The digital age presents unparalleled opportunities for learning and connection. And I love learning. You know how many times I go on a YouTube, when I start my podcasting, I think myself, how am I going to start podcasting? First of all, everybody was ridiculing me because English is my fifth language. Not first, my fifth language. Okay, what equipment I need? What am I going to talk about? There's so many experts in my life appeared on horizon. They're approaching me so quickly with all this. You need a this, you need a that. I said, oh, hang on. I went on YouTube, the source of all knowledge. Thank you, YouTube. And I said to myself, what Mario Bekes can do it? I can become the Guinness World Record holder. Yes, I am. I need to share my knowledge. I want to talk about things in life, guys. You are good enough. You can do on your own. Nobody doesn't need to tell you how to do it or what to do it. You can choose. And that's the reason why I say myself, if I want to run my podcast, I need to see what suits me. So from all that content, 99%, it was going through window, 1% stay with me. That's what the beauty of this it is. The digital age presents unparalleled opportunities for learning and connection, but it also demands a high standard of accountability from both content creators and consumers. In the pursuit of wisdom and authenticity, we must be vigilant. You must question and above all, discerning in our choices. Now, as we await further developments in Jay Shetty's stories, which again, Jay Shetty is very clever. I must congratulate him. Well, wouldn't you be, smart one? He's worth $25 million. He can afford all these strategies and anything else. $25 million, you paid, not me. But he sits on the side. He's populating, and I think there's a lot of quotes on his Instagram. And I said to myself, okay, that's very nice. Again, that's not his quotes. He gives the credit back. But there's a question sign, right? You gain credit back, but do you have actually approval that you can take those quotes? I don't know this. Jay Shetty is here to answer. There's a controversy, but that controversy serves us as a reminder of imperatives of integrity and truth in the quest of meaningful influence. If you don't want help somebody genuinely, don't help at all. But if you're helping already, at least do the referencing back. This is what I learned in university. This is what I learned in school. School is important. You can't build your life on opinion. The life will hit you. Because when you go in the bank, who are you talking to? The person without school? When you go in the court, you need a lawyer? Yeah, I just saw the course online. I'm the lawyer. No. Everybody requires qualifications on the court of law. I've been in the court of law so many times because that's my job. It's not what you know, but what you can prove on a court of law. And judge doesn't have time for your opinions. It's black and white. That's how it is. But if you drive the people into that direction to believe that what you're saying, it is true, and it's based on plagiarism, lies, opinions, unsupported statements, somebody, somewhere, it's gonna lose that battle. And now, in a world of saturated voices clamoring for our attention, the challenge is not only to find those who speak the truth, but also to cultivate the wisdom to listen with the brain and heart at the same time. Thank you for watching Life the Battlefield with Mario. Feel free to subscribe, share, like, and comment, and let me know what do you believe, what is happening in an arena of the gurus, public speakers, and all these people who are using digital arena to share their message with us. So guys, as for the Jay Shetty, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And yes, speak to you soon. Thank you.